March 10th, 2015 meeting of the Revere School Committee will now come to order. Will all please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Mr. Ferranti?
Here.
Ms. Gravellisi?
Here.
Mr. McGuire?
Here.
Ms. Pruitt?
Present.
Mrs. Rizzo?
Here.
Ms. Ty?
Here.
Mayor Rizzo?
Here. Approval of the minutes of the February 14th, 2015 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Calendar item number 3, Superintendent's Report. Dr.
Okay, well, the first item up, we're going to be talking about some makeup days for school this year. Unfortunately, because of the snow devils, we've had to call 9 days off school. And there's been all kinds of chatter about the best way to make up those days, some of which involve Saturdays, taking away April vacation days. And also the commissioner came out with some parameters for adding hours on the school day, which I was originally looking at as very favorable. So make up a few days that don't bring us too deep into June, and then find out the number of hours that represent 3 or 4 other days, and spread those hours over the course of days in March and April, maybe add an hour a day. But as the commissioner's instructions came out, they read that you would have to show him that you made up days in April, during April vacation, before he would approve a longer school day to make up other time. So that sort of put us into a roadblock on thinking about adding time. And then in talking and discussing the issue with various constituencies, parents, even kids, and teachers, Saturdays are problematic from a number of perspectives, even for parents. And teachers who may have second jobs and athletic events that are all running. So Saturdays became a tough sell. April vacation, to make up days there, became an equally tough sell with literally out of the 1,000 school staff members, hundreds of them with planned vacations that they wouldn't be able to get money back from, and countless numbers of parents with students that are in the same predicament, planning April vacations to be elsewhere. So that led to the conclusion that it looks obvious that we will be adding the days till the end of the year. And right now, I think it brings us to June 25th, which is late in the year. Not much later than actually we went last year at all. It's within a day or two of last year, so it's not that long. One thing that deserves to be mentioned here, when we set the last day of school, we always, by regulation, we have to show 5 snow days. So if the school year this year actually was the 12th, the original day off was the 12th, and the 5 school days added brought us to the 19th. When parents are, or teachers for that matter, are figuring a summer schedule, they should always block off those 5 snow days just to be safe. It requires us to calendar them before we submit our calendar to the State Board of Education. They require us to show 5 school days because they figure they want teachers to know, hey, you could be in school those days, and they want parents to know we want your kids in school days, so don't claim vacations. So in reality, our school year this year, although it looked like the 12th, nothing should have been scheduled before the 19th. As it stands, that still croaks us because we're all the way out to the 25th. But that's just something to remember relative to the next point on the superintendent's report, which is a calendar for next year. So with that previous point in mind and setting the end of the year date, and we'll talk about that, you always have to add 5 school days to that. So I'm always going to say the proposed end of school date and then the snow end of school date. People should be thinking about the snow end of school date, and we may get out sooner than that, because we may not have to call 5 snow days, or if it's an ugly year like this year, we may have to go longer. But right now, the calendar, it's looking like it's a really difficult year in the sense that Labor Day is as late in the year as it can be this year. It's September 7th. So if we were to go to school just the week before Labor Day, we would already be pushed out into the third week of June. So we're looking at going back to school even the week before that. And right now, the preliminary calendar, the draft calendar, has us starting on Monday the 24th with teachers, and Tuesday the 25th with teachers, and then students on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Then the next week would roll into the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd. That Friday before Labor Day is the 4th, that would be off, and then Labor Day would be off. So what it allows us to do is capture 7 days before Labor Day. Now, people might think that that is a lot before Labor Day. It is, in a way, because Labor Day usually isn't as late as it is on the 7th. But for comparative purposes, this year we started teachers on the 21st, even earlier than we're going to start them this coming year. They'll be starting on the 24th this year. And students last year started on the 25th, this current school year that we're just finishing. And next year they're going to be starting on the 26th. So even though it appears, because we're stacking before Labor Day, more because Labor Day is so late on the 7th, we're really not when you take a look at it in comparison to this year. That would bring us through our typical calendar, which has all the typical vacations. It has a February vacation, it has a March vacation, and just to address that issue, an April vacation, sorry. There are discussions across the state about combining to one vacation. Now, that would be, in the superintendent's world, that's been discussed an awful lot, and it has been tried in various places, and always been tried and then reversed. Mainly because it creates problems in school systems for staff members and parents alike. In the sense that if our 1,000 employees have a week in April, and if they live in Melrose, and Melrose, let's say, still has a February and an April vacation, think of the situation it puts our staff members in. They have to come to work they have a week off in March when their kids aren't off, and their kids are off in February and April when they're in school. So that has us conclude at the superintendent's level throughout the state that if there was ever a move to combine the vacations, it would have to be a statewide initiative. So everybody goes to a vacation week in March, and then that means everybody goes to school in February and goes to school in April, and there would be no employee and kid conflicts with parents and kids vacation or off time out of alignment. You get that sort of? So it's confusing. So that's why we still have a February and April vacation, because it would be really a rebel-like problem that we would create by going to one vacation. So typically, the typical vacations are there, the typical Christmas break. 5 religious holy days are built in, as they were this year. I think we had 4 religious holy days built in this year. And it brings the ending day in the preliminary calendar out to June 16th. This year, the end was June 12th. So it's not that far off when you stick in the weekend and how it hangs on the weekend. It's really not that far off. The 12th was a Friday. The 16th here is a Thursday. But the snow date would be the 23rd. So if people are thinking of vacations right now, and this is preliminary, we will bring back a final suggestion for the committee to vote on at the next meeting. But if parents are thinking, well, when's the last date? When can we start to schedule a vacation? It would be best to not include anything before the 23rd of June, because we likely have to chip into those days with no snow days, we're out on the 16th, but God knows what the weather will bring upon us. So that's the calendar piece. Does anyone have a question on that? No. Everybody's okay? All right, the next thing on the superintendent's report, I'm going to rely on Dr. Kelly to bring us up to date on the middle school lottery process that we've determined we need a lottery again. That's not anything that is surprising any of us. And it's going to probably be the 7th or 8th year in a row we've run a lottery. So, Dr. Kelly?
Thank you, Dr. Dakin. So first, I want to say thank you to all of the parents and the elementary schools who took care of getting the middle school selection forms back to us. As of today, I can report that we have 100% return. So we have a form back on every fifth grader, which is great. The downside of that news is that the numbers did not fall out evenly as we hope every year. And therefore, as Dr. Dakin mentioned, we do have need for multiple lotteries this year. I'm not going to talk specific numbers today because we are still getting into some of the detail. As parents know, the forms were just due last Friday, so we got them in our office yesterday, and our office has spent the day processing the data. And we still need to look into some situations such as many parents know, we have a sibling rule that gives preference to kids who are going to have a sibling that already attends one of the middle schools. And we have an employee preference where if there's an employee who has a child entering middle school, they can attend the school that the parent works in. So we still need to dot some I's and cross some T's on those pieces. But we should have that done in the next couple of days. And I know that we'll have a full report ready for the April 7th school committee meeting, at which we'll be able to talk about the specifics of which lotteries and what the numbers are and how many kids are going to need to be lottering in or out of each of the middle schools. And then I can also share tonight that the lottery will be held on Thursday, April 16th, which is the Thursday before April vacation, at 5 o'clock here in the school committee room. And I'll remind parents that they're more than welcome to attend. However, children will not be admitted. So the kids need to stay home, but the parents are welcome to attend the lottery. And again, we'll have more information on that April 7th.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Any questions on lottery? It's typical. It's the same as it will always be. It will be in this room. Parents allowed, no kids allowed. April 16th at 5 o'clock. I'm sad to say we have to do it, but it's the fairest way to allow for the seating in the middle schools. Next on the enlist, on the superintendent's report, I'd ask Assistant Superintendent Malone to give us a little bit of information on the sped accommodations for park tests.
As the committee knows, I've updated you a few times on our move to park testing from MCAS testing. One of the significant hurdles we were facing with all districts was parks' inability to service all accommodations that were listed on individual education plans as they pertain to MCAS. Again, this was a decision made at the state level. Our concern was that the explanation of this down to the parent level was becoming a function of the district and the individual special education teacher. We petitioned the state to ask them to construct a letter identifying this. And sure enough, the state actually met with, the state being the commissioner, actually met with myself and representatives from Burlington Public Schools a couple of months ago. They heard our concerns. They worked diligently with their legal office at DESE, and about 2 weeks ago, they were able to construct a letter that came out from DESE informing parents that those accommodations would not be allowed on park, but that was a decision made at the state level that was direct relation to park testing. And that was a significant help to us because that allowed us to not be the middle person in between parent concerns, student accessibility, all of the kind of items in that chain. That letter was also made available to all districts in the state. So I think that's a significant accomplishment in many ways. One, I think it's a huge reflection on Revere, certainly the work of Dr. Dakin and Dr. Kelly, that Revere is allowed to be brought in on those type decisions at that level. And it's also a significant message from DESE that they're willing to listen and they're willing to work on these issues as we move forward. So that letter has gone out. It went out dated February 23rd, signed by myself to all special education 504 students, informing them of that practice. We're pretty much assured that they were already aware of that through the team meeting process, but we wanted to verify the reason for this and the rationale behind this and where that really lies. It was a big help and real significant improvement on how we communicate and how we do business. So we're very happy with that result.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dakin. Calendar item number 4, I believe there is a motion.
Am I on? Yes. Okay.
Ms. Ty?
Dr. Dakin, it's my assumption that you have before you the contract as negotiated by our attorney, Paul Mulcairn.
That I do.
Yeah, well, I'll make the motion. That we enter into this contract effective July 1st, 2015, and extending for a period of 5 years to June 30th, 2020, with Dr. Diane K. Kelly as the superintendent of the Revere Public Schools. And furthermore, that we advertise immediately for her vacated position as assistant superintendent. I move that.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Third.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
Could I just add that in one way this is difficult because we have, such a superior superintendent, so he's
You'll have more-
extraordinary.
You'll have a more superior
She
one.
has, well, I know that. She has extraordinary talents herself. Some of them the same as yours, some of them quite different, and I think we'll have an exciting and rewarding time during her 5 years of tenure here. And then I hope those 5 years will go on long after that. Best of luck.
Depends on how much
Thank you, Ms. Thank you, Ms. Ty. Dr. Kelly, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, I'd love to, thank you. And I am going to refer to my notes because stuff always makes me just a little bit nervous. I don't know why, I never mind speaking in front of kids, but. So anyway, I really, really am thankful to everybody who made it possible for us to even be here discussing this today. When I started in Revere 20 years ago, which I can't believe that it's been 20 years, it really only occurred to me that I would be ever a high school math teacher. That's what I aspired to do at the time, and it was where my passion was and where my passion still is, quite frankly. But, life progresses and we move on and we take on different things. And I'm very thankful to this particular school committee that has shown the confidence in me to take on this role. And it's not lost on me how my job will be made easier because we have a school committee that is truly dedicated to bettering education for kids. I'm thankful to have the chance to work with Michael Ferranti and Susan Gravellisi and Danny McGuire and Stacey Rizzo and Carol Ty and Donwood Pruitt and Mayor Rizzo, of course. When I speak to colleagues in other districts, which I do quite frequently, at least a couple of times a week, really, they share stories of committee members that are grandstanding for political gain and backfighting, and really the work that they do sometimes in those other districts only impedes the progress of the students. And really there are no kids who have time for impediments in their education. So I really, really do recognize, and I want to make sure that I tell you how I know that I'm fortunate to work with this particular group of caring individuals. So I want to say that. And I have to also include in that group Fred Snella, who was on the school committee when I originally was hired into the position of assistant superintendent, because he had a vision for helping move the schools forward, and he was always a proponent of that, as was the Revere City Council. And as long as I've been here, another reason Revere is lucky compared to some other districts is that we have a city council that really is a friend of the schools. And they've supported us every step of the way by backing all of the school activities, but also backing us financially, as with the 5 school building plan that we're just coming to the conclusion of. And in the future, Mr. Mayor, I'm sure they'll back us for a new high school, right?
That's right. Well, I don't know. Let me.
But, you know, part of the reason I'm here today is because my craft was honed working alongside a lot of really great veteran Revere educators who really shaped my thinking about how kids learn and how teachers should teach. And I just want to mention some of them, who some are still around and others are sadly gone. But really, people who impressed a lot on who I am today as an educator were David Colella and Anne Marie Costa and Mary Ellen Dakin and Janet Lucy, Scott Motherton, Joanna McGinnis, Fran Riga, and of course Carol Ty, who was superintendent, you know, when I first started teaching here. These people were kind to me when I was new, and they were kind to me when I wasn't so new. They were always generous with their knowledge and their experience, and they taught me really how to be a good teacher, but also how to be a good colleague, which I think is equally important. And, you know, there were numerous colleagues who started roughly at the same time that I did, and in the years that follow, who I've learned a great deal from as well, and continue to learn from today. And I can't possibly name all of them, but I know that the Revere Public Schools is especially fortunate to have so many of them still working here today. And all of these educators embrace collegiality, and that's why the Revere Public Schools has the best teachers and the best administrators, hands down. And I know it's a little self-serving for me to say something like that, but the fact that we are the only level 2 urban district in this state is a testament to really how great our faculty is and our staff and our administrators and just everybody who works here. And it's why so many people who leave us for other opportunities come back and rejoin the Revere staff. So we can't forget about that. And the teachers and the administrators join side by side with the custodians and the security guards and the secretaries and the food service workers, the crossing guards, the business office staff, the transportation staff. It's really everybody who makes this district's culture what it is, and that's what enables us to thrive through issues of poverty and maybe not the strongest early foundation in education and other challenges that some of our kids face. But every single one of us, no matter what our role is in the district, is an educator. And there are different kids that find inspiration in different adults, no matter what that adult's role is. We are all educators, and we all reach kids and impact their lives in different ways. And we act like a family, which is really what makes things different and sets Revere apart from other districts. We support each other and we work with each other instead of against each other. And all of our decisions are made with our kids at the center. And we hold each other up when the times get tough, as they are now, with an innumerable number of initiatives and mandates coming down from both the state and the federal government. And, you know, our custodians have done incredible work this winter. We talk about the snow, but we forget to talk about how they've come together as a team and kept these buildings going. It's really been amazing. And that is because we are a resilient crew, so we will survive. We have the positive relationships necessary to work toward all of our collective goals. And just as we hold our students to high levels of rigor and stay focused on the relevance of our work, we expect the same of ourselves. So I think that you've heard some familiar words here. I think that the culture described and the tenets of doing what's best for kids and rigor, relevance, relationships, and resilience should not sound new to anybody. They've been espoused by the person who's been my greatest mentor from the very, very beginning of my career, and that, of course, is Dr. Dakin, who I'll miss terribly, but I am eternally grateful to him for everything that he has taught me and will continue to teach me. And as further evidence that the school committee is forward-thinking and motivated to do what's best for kids, I'm very thankful that I will have him as my formal mentor for the first 6 months of my new appointment. I think that's going to make a tremendous difference to the transition period. And while I'm sure my personal style will be evident in the work that we do as we move forward, I mainly look to build on the great work that's already underway here in Revere. I do truly feel blessed to work with such great professionals in all of the roles throughout the district, and look forward to our collective efforts toward breaking through the next barrier and pushing the next limit for our kids to reach even higher with our expectations. And I would just, before I close, I have to thank Chris Malone for his support and collaboration. He's another asset to this district, and we're very fortunate to have him part of our team. I'm very thankful to have him part of the team. And I have to thank the ladies who put up with the three of us every day, Carol, Elise, Ellie, and Erica. I don't know what we'd do without you guys on many days. And finally, I have to thank my awesome family and friends who have supported me throughout the years. some of them are here today, and who've entertained my pursuit of additional degrees and new titles, including this one. I really, really am grateful for this opportunity, and what I can pledge to this committee is that I'll always do my best to meet your highest expectations.
Would any members like to comment on Dr. Kelly's appointment? Mr. Ferranti.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Diane, I wish you nothing.
Too many.
Thank you. I'd like to wish you nothing but the best of luck. I'm sure you're going to do a fantastic job. You know, you're following one of the best superintendents around. You're going to do great. Anything we can do to help you, you know, just call us. We'll be there for you. Like I said, I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Mr. Ferranti. Ms. Gravellisi?
Diane, as you know, we are all very excited and happy equally that you are our next superintendent. It was not a difficult choice when we were going through our decisions of what we wanted, and you know, I wish you all the best, and I hope I'm here as long as you are.
Mr. McGuire?
Well, welcome a fellow Irish woman. That influenced my vote. I like a great racehorse. You were in the gate for many years. And now it's time to let those legs run, and I'm sure you will. And we'll be here to root you on in the stands.
Thank you very much.
I may as well just continue now. Ms. Pruitt, did you have anything to add?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Pruitt?
Or second one. As I said yesterday to somebody from Nellie Mae, and they asked, do I think there'll be a change in how we educate our kids and move forward? And I said, definitely not. I said, Dr. Dakin has big shoes to fill, but I think Diane has big feet. So, congratulations, Diane, welcome.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Ms. Rizzo?
Sure. Diane, is it two ends? I'm trying to tweet all the good news out.
It is two ends, but
No, I am really happy to be able to sit with you and see you in a different light. As a paraprofessional, I really didn't know your style or how you worked, but being on this committee has given me a great joy to see what an asset you are to the school district, and I know there's nothing but good things coming forward. So bring your own style, bring the smile, and we'll be fine. We'll be doing great.
Thank you very much. Ms. Ty?
Here we are.
Well, I more or less had my say. But Diane, I enjoyed when you first came here, and you were terrific the first year. We had a huge, great recommendation from Paul Dakin, of course. And sometimes we were on opposite sides, but as an old union officer myself and contract negotiator, I appreciated the zeal with which you were going after your points, and you continue to do that. And I've seen that in you as you move forward as a math coach and then forward as assistant superintendent, and expect that you'll continue doing that. And of course, we are all really delighted, thrilled. So we wish you the best of luck. But you don't need luck. You will make your own. So congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ty. Dr. Dakin?
I certainly want to congratulate Diane, but even more so, I want to congratulate the committee for appointing what is the best person for this job that you could have sought out. Sometimes it takes courage to recognize the talent that lies within. Some places like to do national searches just for the heck of it. We know when we have somebody effective. We have somebody effective, and for you to recognize that is in need of congratulations to you people for being and having that wisdom. Diane will be a tremendous superintendent. We work a system that is not controlled by the superintendency. It's a team approach to things, and she has been around long enough at this point to know how to run that team, to call the plays so that everybody's out there doing their fair share. Because you can't win the game with anybody not pulling their own weight. and people will willingly do that for her. People naturally gravitate to her leadership and her style. She's only been a success in every bit of what she's touched so far in the district, and you will certainly make us and Revere proud by putting her in this position, and I'm sure, confident that she will make us proud as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Daly. And so I just want to offer you my personal congratulations. It's been great sitting next to you here for the last 3 years. You'll only be moving one seat over. You know, it really was, somebody mentioned what an easy choice it was, and it truly was an easy choice. You know, you've been part of a system that has just been so successful, and as Dr. Dakin talked about, you know, congratulating the committee, really the winners here tonight are the 7,000 kids in the district that are going to have the benefit of your experience in being part of a system that has done so well, to be superintendent of the only urban school district that has level 1 and 2 schools, to be coming in on the heels of Revere High School being selected the #1 high school in the country by the National Center for Urban School Transformation. I mean, you know, you've been part of the culture that has made all those things happen. So really, for me, and I know for members of the committee, it really was a very, very easy decision. I think the most agonizing part is, would you accept the position? So, and we are, I know I am, and the committee is very, very grateful that you have, and we all look, I know I look forward to working with you over the next 5 years. Should I get reelected? I might not. But congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Kelly, you want to keep going, or do you want to have a 2-minute break?
We could have a 2-minute break.
2-minute break.
2-minute recess. The March 10th, 2015 meeting of the Revere School Committee will now be back in order. Calendar item number 5, approval of the bills for the Hill School. Mr. Avalisi?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Encumbrances, DRA PSS number 15, $16,500. VEA Windows Testing Services. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
Invoices, Hill International, $42,135. Invoice number 36 for January services. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
Hill International, $32,070. Invoice number 37 for February services. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
CTA Construction Requisition number 13 for the total amount of $1,501,393.44. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Mayor?
Dr. Dakin.
Just for purposes of paying these bills, that 1.5 million is
You want to meet separately?
is a combination of the 3 numbers be lowered. So if I think it would be best if we do those individual numbers that are totaling the 1.5 million.
Okay, Ms. Gravellisi, if you could read all 3 of them.
Yes. CTA Construction Base, $1,469,345.56. Requisition number 13 for February services. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
CTA Construction, CO number 1, $30,618.11. Requisition number 13 for February services. So moved.
Second. Roll call?
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
CTA Construction, CO number 8, $1,429.77. Requisition number 13 for February services. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So ordered.
DRA Basic Services, $37,513. Invoice number 31 for February services. So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
DRA PSS number 13, $1,380.50. Invoice number 3, services through February. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? So ordered.
Verizon, $266,225.12. Invoice number 4A0B0FP, Park Ave pole move. So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes.
And that's it for the bills.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gravellisi. Calendar item number 6, subcommittee reports. Are there any subcommittee reports?
Yes, I have one.
Ms. Pruitt?
I just want to let the public know, we have 30 children at Shore Collaborative, and we just settled with our unions. We also settled with our executive director, signed her contract, and our assistant executive director. This was all done this week at Shore, and that's about it.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Ms. Pruitt? Hearing and seeing none. Are there any further subcommittee reports? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to calendar item number 7, school department communications.
No.
Seeing none, hearing none. Calendar item number 8, new business.
No.
No new business. Calendar item number 9, late communications.
No. There are none.
There are no late communications. Calendar item number 10, we already heard one motion. Are there any further motions? Ms. Rizzo. Ms. Rizzo.
Yes. At the January 14, 2015 school committee meeting, we voted in the positive to request for food service management proposals years 2016, 2017, 2018. I'd like to make a motion that an ad hoc committee be set up for this process, consisting of the Health and Nutrition Subcommittee, Mrs. Gravellisi as chair, and committee members Donna Wood Pruitt and Stacy Rizzo, along with the business administrator, Matt Cruz, a parent representative, Julie DeMaro, and an administrator, which would be the Susie B. Anthony principal, Joanne Willett. So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi.
Yes.
Mr. McGuire.
Yes.
Ms. Pruitt.
Yes.
Mrs. Rizzo.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Rizzo.
Yes. Motion passes. Any further motions? We'll move on to public comments. Seeing no members of the public, we'll move on to calendar item number 12, payment of the bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor? So moved.
And we will meet again.
Our next meeting will be April 7th at 6 p.m. If there is no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We will adjourn until April 7th at 6 p.m. Congratulations once again to Dr. Diane Keller.
Thank you.